everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to apologize right off the bat for the sound you might hear in the background. Ray is outside leaf blowing, so he has to get it done and I don't feel like waiting until the sun goes down for me to record. Also, I'm trying not to look at myself. I'm recording off of my new iPhone 7 Plus, which I do plan on doing a review video on very, very soon. I haven't been making very much videos in the last couple weeks because the Vlogtober videos were like the death of me. The amount of time I put into editing and then re-editing, and then I would lose footage, and then they were just taking hours upon hours to upload. And actually Vlogtober 3 took, between how many times it failed and I had to restart uploading it, took 4 days for me to upload. So it was just an absolute disaster with those videos. Granted, I had a ton of fun making them. I just wish the uploading process was easier through all that because that really was a pain. But anyway, so because this is off my iPhone, I don't really know how much editing will be done on it, though I do know this has iMovie, so maybe I can figure that out. I don't know. But anyway, I wonder, does that make a difference? A little bit. I don't know. The sun is coming from that direction and there's no window over here, so it's strange, and Lucy's trying to give kisses. So anyway, I wanted to make a video continuing my TTC journey because I kind of left everybody in the dark, and my TTC journey thus far has seemed to be the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Just, I've gotten the most views on them. People are most interested in them. I'm turning this off. Sorry. Just because the community is so big, I'm sure, with women trying to get pregnant and women who are pregnant and what have you. So anyway, I left off my last Vlogtober, if you didn't see it, Vlogtober number 4, talking about I had finally gone to see an OBG. And I hadn't had a pap smear done in over a year because I didn't want to go back to the doctor I had. It was an older male who just made me feel very uncomfortable, and I mean, it's just an uncomfortable situation as it is to begin with, and if you don't have a doctor that eases you into things or like tries to make light of things and is just very, I don't know, he was just weird and I didn't like him. Not to mention the fact that I think his name was Esther, his first name, or Lester? I don't know, something like that. But his last name was Smith, and he had a nickname, whatever his first name is, Esther the Molester. So, as you can imagine, I don't think anyone would want to keep their doctor if they had a nickname referring to being molested, especially when they're all up in your junk. So anyway, I finally found a doctor that I really, really love so far, and I went and got my pap, and I also talked to her about trying to get pregnant. So basically, I went to this appointment with full intentions of just telling them everything that I've gone through thus far, and I did just that, and it was just a very nerve-wracking doctor's appointment. The whole thing was very nerve-wracking. I left in tears. I'll just tell you what happened. So anyway, I got there, and the first thing that happened was I went into the room and a nurse came in, and she barged into the room and she started going off to me. She was venting, which I didn't mind at all, but she was venting to me because the woman in the room next to me was 5 months pregnant, I think she said, 5 or 6 months, and she was nodding out on heroin, and her boyfriend, aka baby's father, who was probably like twice her age, was answering all her questions for her because she was nodding out sitting on the table. So the nurse comes in and she was flipping out about how many times she's seen stuff like this happen, and I started to get upset because, I mean, I sat there and thought, like, here I am, I've miscarried, I have been trying to conceive for a total of 9 or 10 months with no luck, and there's people like this that take advantage of having babies, and this woman will have her baby, and the poor baby will probably be withdrawing or very sick or whatever, and it was just, I was just so angry. So anyway, then right off the bat I was upset about that. So she did what she had to do. She gave me some advice as far as trying to get pregnant before going into what the doctor told me, to go on a strict 5-day cleanse, and very, very strict and very, very abruptly. With that, I guess your hormones just start to go completely out of whack because you change it so abruptly and so drastically, your diet, for 5 days, that your hormones go all out of whack, And if it were in fact to be an issue with my hormones, then it is quite possible that my body would maybe then produce a hormone that maybe it hasn't been, to be a reason why I haven't been able to get pregnant. And then obviously we would do what we have to do, and then we could get pregnant. She said that she has seen many cases of that happen. So that was really good advice from her. So then she left, and then the doctor came in and she asked me all these kinds of questions. She asked me, first thing she asked me was if I had been a patient there before, and I informed her that yes, and it was because I had miscarried. So she, you know, gave me her condolences, and then she talked to me about if we'd been trying, and I told her yes, and she asked me how long, and I told her, you know, I miscarried in February of 2015, then we waited like 4 months until I felt like my body was back to kind of normal, then we tried for 6 months with no luck, and then we took a break because it was just very, very exhausting and upsetting. And then since we've been in our own place, we tried for the past 3 months. So she was like, okay, so that's about like 9, maybe almost 10 months. And I said, yes. And she said to me, well, she gave me like kind of a look like concerned. And she actually did say that. She said, you know, well, what we do is after 6 months of no conception, we like to go deeper into this, because, you know, I told her everything that I had been doing, my diet, the fact that I had been taking prenatals for a couple months, down to the positions that we were in. Like, I was very, very upfront and open with her about everything that we had been doing, which you kind of have to be to get answers. So then that's when she told me, which made me upset, that she is concerned, because she said, Stephanie, you have been doing everything you were supposed to be, and something should have happened by now. So I am concerned that there might be something a little out of whack. That's how she said it to me. So right off the bat, I was really nervous. So she did my pap, and then I went right downstairs for blood work. They checked all of my hormones, every single one of them. Took 5 vials of blood. And then with that, oh, she also told me, I'm sorry, before I went down to get the blood work, she told me that because I was like restarting this whole process with trying to get pregnant, and with the whole like after 6 months thing, they go a little deeper. She said if by January I'm not pregnant, that she wants to see me back, and that she wanted to put me on Clomid, which a lot of people, if you're watching this, probably know something about this. I don't really know much about it besides what I've seen from women on YouTube, so I didn't really delve into any research yet, only because I'm not sure if that's going to really need to be a thing, if I'm going to have to do that. But I do know that it's something that I didn't necessarily want to do. I'm not like, you know, all organic, all natural, like super duper healthy, but I also don't like to use supplements to make my body do something that it doesn't necessarily want to do. And not to mention just the fact that it's a little discouraging when, as a woman, you hear that your body isn't doing necessarily what it's supposed to do. It really is kind of discouraging, because as I don't like to say it this way, but it's the only way I know how to describe it. It kind of makes you feel a little bit less of a woman, like you're like a little bit of your femininity has kind of been robbed from you. When a doctor can tell you, you know, as a woman, your body isn't doing what it's supposed to do. Like, this should have happened by now, and it hasn't. So something must not be right. So then she said, after January, if I'm not pregnant and I'm on this Clomid, and if that didn't work, so that's, you're talking another couple months, if that didn't work, then she would want me to see a specialist. So I'm really, really hoping it doesn't have to go that far. But anyway, I went and got the blood work, and my hormones are being checked out, and that's all I really know right now. I do know that Ray and I are not going to stop trying. I do know that I don't necessarily even want to go back to the doctor and be put on something, or just do something that's going to, like, and I know, you know, people do it all the time, they get put on hormone supplements or whatever, but I do feel like there are more natural ways to put things in balance, if in fact that is the issue that I've been having. And I would like to rather try that route. So, I mean, from here, I'm just kind of being stubborn, I guess, and not necessarily following up the way I should be, only because, like I said, I don't want to be pressured into doing something that I really don't want to do, or, you know, to my body. So I don't know. I mean, there's other things that I could do and try, and we're going to do that before I go into that extreme of, okay, like now I absolutely need a doctor's assistance because I just can't do this anymore. And that's basically where it stands right now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for following my journey thus far, and thank you so much for all the amazing advice that people have been giving me, and you know, just the input and the kind words and, you know, the encouraging words, and it really, really means a lot to me. And I know there's so many women in the world that are going through exactly what I'm going through, if not worse, and your support just means so much to me. And I love being able to share my story and share my experience with people, and have them find interest and have them find comfortability and faith that, you know, they're not alone, or that things get better, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will be making, I have a few videos in mind that I need to make. I'm actually going to be recording another one today. Maybe a couple actually, I don't know. I got plenty of daylight, it's early yet, so I'm going to do that. Stay tuned for those videos. Thank you so much for watching again, and please subscribe if you would like to keep following my journey. Hopefully there is a pregnancy journey to follow very soon, and just amongst my other videos that I make, whatever, you know. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!